Have you ever felt like life is moving too fast? Like your mind just can't catch up with your heart? In a world that never stops rushing, it's easy to feel lost, overwhelmed, or even broken inside. But what if ancient wisdom could show us a gentler way to live? What if harmony, acceptance, and purpose were not just ideas, but real keys to healing your mind and soul? In Japan, the word wa means harmony. It's not just about peace and quiet, it's about creating balance between yourself, others, and the environment around you. In today's world where our minds feel pulled in 1,000 different directions, what reminds us that true well-being is not about controlling every detail, but about finding flow in the middle of life's storms. Imagine standing in a crowded train, surrounded by strangers, yet feeling calm because you've accepted the rhythm of the moment. That's the power of wa. When we bring this idea into our lives, it's not about perfection but presence. Harmony doesn't mean the absence of conflict, but the courage to soften tension inside ourselves. Many of us carry invisible battles, stress, self-doubt, fatigue. But by embracing wa, we begin to loosen that tight grip and breathe easier. Sometimes the greatest healing starts when we stop fighting ourselves and instead learn to move gently with life. Kintsugi is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold, making the cracks part of its beauty. Now imagine applying this to your own heart. Every failure, heartbreak, or mistake you've endured becomes a golden seam in your life story. Instead of hiding your pain, kintsugi teaches us to honor it because it shows where we've been strong enough to rise again. Many people struggle with shame or regret, feeling they are too broken to move forward. But what if your cracks are proof of your courage? Every scar tells a story of resilience, of healing, of survival. When you learn to see your wounds as part of your beauty, you no longer live in fear of imperfection. You embrace it as your uniqueness. That's where mental health begins to transform from self-criticism into self-compassion. The Japanese speak of Ikigai, the reason you get out of bed each morning. It doesn't have to be grand, like saving the world. It can be as simple as making your child smile, tending to your plants, or cooking a meal you love. In a society where we're often pressured to achieve more, Ikigai teaches us to find joy in the small acts of daily living. Purpose doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it whispers. When you connect with what gives your life meaning, no matter how small, you build resilience against despair. Think about it. Even in the toughest times, knowing there is one thing worth waking up for can carry you through. Finding your Ikigai is not about chasing success. It's about rediscovering what makes your soul feel alive. There's a Japanese phrase, shikata, which means it cannot be helped. It's not about giving up. It's about releasing the weight of what you cannot control. How many of us spend sleepless nights replaying conversations, worrying about the future, or wishing the past was different? This mindset only steals our present moment. When you embrace shikata, you begin to protect your mental health. You learn that strength is not found in controlling everything, but in accepting what is. This shift lightens the heavy burden on your shoulders. Instead of asking, why me? You ask, what now? It's in this gentle acceptance that healing begins, because your heart no longer wastes energy fighting battles that don't belong to you. In Japan, shinrin-yoku means forest bathing, not taking a bath in water, but bathing your senses in nature. Science has proven that spending time among trees lowers stress, reduces anxiety, and restores mental clarity. But beyond science, there's something deeply human about reconnecting with nature's rhythm. When you stand among tall trees, you realize how small your worries are in comparison to the vastness of life. You don't need a forest to practice this. A walk in the park, listening to the sound of leaves, or even tending to your garden can bring the same calm. It's not about escaping the world, but returning to it with a softer heart. When you let nature remind you of stillness, your mind begins to slow down too. Mental health thrives when we allow ourselves to step away from the noise and remember that we are part of something greater. All these Japanese concepts kintsugi, ikigai, shikata, ashigai, in-yoku- are not just cultural wisdom, they're lifelines for the modern soul. Together, they teach us that healing doesn't come from running away from pain, but from embracing life as it is, with its cracks, imperfections, and quiet beauty. Mental health is not about achieving a perfect mind. It's about learning to create harmony within yourself, even when the world feels out of balance. When you carry that harmony inside, You radiate it outward to your family, your work, and your community. If today you feel lost or heavy, remember, even the smallest step toward harmony is a step toward healing. Let these Japanese lessons be your compass. Your peace matters, your story matters, and your life exactly as it is right now is worth cherishing.